Welcome back to a brand new video. In this video, I will be going through functions in JavaScript. Now, functions are the reason modern apps don't collapse into thousands of repeated lines of code. Without functions, like every button click, login system, calculator, everything would be chaos. So in this video, I will show you how functions actually work in JavaScript, how the data is moved through them, and why they are one of the most important concepts in programming. Okay, so first, we are going to be going through the syntax of making a basic function. In JavaScript, to make a function, you first have to type function, and then after that the name of the function followed by the parentheses. So over here I have made a function using the function keyword, and I have given it a name called greet. I followed by two parentheses, then I put some curly brackets. All the code for the function will go inside the curly brackets. So let's do a simple line and say console.log, and then let's log hello world. Now if we run our program, you can see that nothing happens. This is because to run a function you have to call it. So to call a function, what you have to do is type its name like this, and then followed by your semicolon. So now if we run this again, you can see that it says hello world. So what actually happened here? We first made a function and we named it greet. We put two parentheses, and then after that we put the curly brackets because all the code goes between the curly brackets. Then we said console.log hello world. That means inside our console it should log hello world. Next we called it. So when we call a function, what happens is that it goes to the function and it runs whatever code is inside over here. So console.log hello world. And we can also like spam this. So let's just do this two more times. And you can see that if we do node index fun.js, it shows hello world 3 times because we call it, it runs the code inside. After it runs, it goes to the next line over here, it runs it, and then the loop continues. So this is how you can make a simple function in JavaScript. So we have gone through a basic function and calling a function. Now we are going to be going through parameters and arguments. So let's just say function, we're just going to be going through the same thing. So function, this, and then this. And then after that, we are just going to be doing the same code over here, the same function. But now we're going to be adding a name over here. So now, what is happening? So now let's just put in something over here. So let's just put in something over here and run this again. So now I have made a simple another function and it says the same thing. But why did I put world over here? So now this is basically an argument. So what happens is that it's function and then greet and then name. So what it is doing is that now we have a variable over here. So whenever we call the function, it is going to be checking the variable. So now whenever we call it, we have to put the value of the variable here. So what the parameter is that it's like the variable inside the function definition. So this is your parameter. So over here, this is a parameter, and then the argument is the actual value passed into the function, so which is over here. So now we're saying that function, it's called greet, and now for the function to work, you have to give this name. Then only the function will be able to do its job. So like when you have to do a job, you need to, get the work. So this is like the work, and then this is the work that it does. And for the work to happen, it needs the variable over here. And the value of the variable comes when we call it. So the value of the parameter is basically the argument. So the parameter is the variable and the argument is the actual value. So over here, you can see that I have made a simple function for that, where we're calling the function, we're giving it a name, and we're saying for the function to work, you need to give this variable, and everything goes inside over here. So now whenever we call the function, we have to pass in this variable so that the function can do its job. Okay. Now, if you still don't understand, just imagine that a parameter is like an empty box. So the parameter is the variable, it's just an empty box. And now after that, the argument is the item put inside the box. So this is the empty box, and we put the item inside the empty box. So now this thing can do its work. Okay, so now we are going to be going through return values. So for now, return values, what is a return value? So let me show it to you. Okay, let's make a new function. So I'm going to be making a new function to explain it. So let's just do function, and we are going to be naming the function, let's say addition. So add, we're going to have the values x and y. Okay, so now we have the values x and y, and we're going to be returning x plus y. So now what's happening over here is that this return function that we have given. So you can see that now we're adding a new function called return. This return sends a value back outside the function. So all the functions that we made before this were actually just logging it over here. But now I'm going to put let result, because in the first video this let result equal to add 5 and 3. Okay, so I have made the simple code over here. Now what happens? Okay, so first we have already gone through how to make a function, so I'm not going to be going through that. Now what we did is we called the function and put the value of whatever came inside a variable. So what's happening is that you can see we have a variable over here. So the function does the work. So the function does the work. It is needed. So the function does the work. But now what happens is that the value of what is returned is put inside the variable result. So now you can see over here that we call it, so it does everything. So it adds 5 and it adds 3. Then after that it returns it back. So the value of this return is put inside the variable. And now we can use the variable however we want outside. So if we run this, so let's just run this over here. You can see that it shows the result of adding 5 and 3 is 8. So that is how return values work in JavaScript. So you can see function, add x and y, and then return x plus y. So the value of this is put inside the variable, and we can do whatever we want. So, and this can actually make it simpler. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you like it, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.